Hello everyone, this is Ninja, and welcome back to the Block and Pox server. This is episode 8, and today I'm gonna show you guys some stuff I recorded earlier. I did a prank on Koopa Freak. uh, Finally got some payback. His prank wasn't really bad at all on me, but he's been pranking a lot of other people on the server and just kind of talking some smack, so he was kind of asking for it. And but you know, since the prank on me wasn't that harsh, I made sure to balance out anything that was kind of evil in my prank with something good, or that was not too bad. You know, like I tried not to block any of the solar panels, or so the cleanup wasn't too didn't take too long or anything. But let me show you some other things I've done since last episode. Well, see, I had these as the Zycraft tanks before. I kept one because I'm actually using this one, but the other ones, they kept on losing their contents. Like, it would be, I would come up here and there would be like 2 or 3 of them that were empty each time I would either travel away from them or come back, and you can see this loading up right here. uh, I made a, well, I'm still working on a UFO, and I'll show you I'll show you guys this a bit later. And this is actually, I'm actually using some of the stuff I learned from that prank I did on Koopa Freak with the MFFS. But yeah, you can make perfect circles around the force fields, like if you make the sphere. Yeah, let me go show you real quick. I'll fly up here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with the structure yet. It's more just I'm kind of building it first and then figure out what its purpose will be later. And I kind of don't think I'm going to have a ball in the bottom here. I think it'd be better if it was just flat. Look more like the typical UFO. And here's the force field. Yeah, let's turn this on. I'll show you how I kind of made this inner circle or sphere here. Okay, and I have this hooked up to a wireless signal because I learned if you make a mistake with turning these things on and having it set wrong, you can actually like block yourself out from the force field, and it's really difficult to find a way to turn it off. Especially if it's just, got a constant source of power. You could cut that source of power, but you have to wait maybe like 2 or 3 hours for it to run out of energy before it shuts off. So the easiest way is just to have one of these, and so you can turn it off remotely if you need to. Yeah, so you can see this right here. Let's see, I have it warded glass, but you can't see through it when it's used in um, the camouflage mode. And it's weird, it doesn't even show the texture. It's just kind of like a I think this is like the underneath texture or something. I don't know. It's not, it doesn't look quite right. But it does the trick anyway. Okay, let's get back and shut that off so I can save power. And let's see here. Okay, I added the control system, and this, I actually made this because for what I was talking about earlier, having I put the field modulator for strength instead of distance over here, and I forgot to put any of the distance ones in, and I was just trying to see what it did, and it made a solid bubble around this right here, so I couldn't get through it. I mean, because there's no empty blocks to get into, so I couldn't get into any of my machines. I had to go, like, I had a portal here, but it was like a little bit further back. It was like 1 block back from this, so this space was open. I could still go through the portal, and I was like 1 block away from the capacitor here. So I figure, okay, if I can cut the power of the capacitor or get rid of it all, then I could, you know, I could stop the force field. And so what I did was I kept draining my multi-tool, and I would go in here and fill it up. So yeah, I eventually was able to use up all the power so I could drain this completely. And I was able to get rid of this too. I had to go to creative to actually, because you can break the force field for just a split second. And what I was doing was holding down left click and right click at the same time, just like click them rapidly. And I was able to actually get a data card to connect to this thing. And let's make one of those right now, actually. Okay. Well, let me demonstrate on one of these machines, actually. What you got to do is shift, and now you got to go into, with the multi-tool, you got to go into this mode right here, and then you shift and then right click on a machine, and it'll make a data. I see it says on the bottom there, data link card create. And you can see now this has like a one of those, what do you call them? It's like a barcode anyway. But you can put these data cards in here, and it gives you access to the machine if you're close enough to it. I'm not sure what the range is on it. I didn't really look that up, but you have to be somewhat close to it, because I tried to use this on the capacitor up there, and it was it's too far away. It says ORR, out of range. And you can open up the GUI and access anything that you have inside of it. For some reason with the capacitor, I couldn't just turn it off though. You can't really, the off state doesn't really cut the power to anything. So I had to actually drain it all the way before it stopped the force field. That's kind of weird though, that, you know, turning this off really doesn't have any effect. It's kind of the same for the MFFS storage too, and these things are, I think, impenetrable. I think you can break them with an Omni wrench, but I think if another player were to come up, he wouldn't be able to. I think. I don't know. I have to test that out again. But I think this is like the only actual secure storage you can have right now. But yeah, because everything else is kind of, you can break it with the Omni wrench, like the safes. Because I made a couple of those, and I know the personal safe is bugged. I'm not sure if it is in this version, but if you break it with the Omni wrench, it actually gets rid of the contents too, which is pretty bad. The advanced safe, I don't know. I'd have to have someone else try and break it with the Omni wrench to actually see that, because I know it's a little different if it's like your own chest. And I put this here because if I ever turn this on for players for some reason, any items they're carrying will go into here, and if this isn't enough space, it'll dump the rest of it into an adjacent chest. So that's why I have this here, just in case. I might make this a ender chest and put it outside of the force field. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna set up a force field like that. Maybe if I'm doing it like in the middle of a prank or something. I don't know. In case someone's really mad, they want to come take revenge or something. I could turn that on real quick and. But I don't know. I think that's a little kind of untrusting, and yeah, I kind of don't want to really have that environment on the server. So yeah, I'm not sure if I fully explained, but yeah, I had to move this thing right above the force field, and I was able to make one of these data cards after breaking the block and just clicking on the capacitor with right click to make this. And so I actually got a data link to it and was able to get in here, but yeah, just turning it off didn't work. So had to I was coming back here and draining this into this capacitor with this setting right here. This will actually drain something that you put in here and put it into the force field. And see, to make it so I could put power in here, I just took these storage out, and you put it back in, and it'll show, yeah, it'll empty out that extra space. And put that in here. There might have been another way to do it, but yeah, I couldn't figure it out at the time. And because I wanted to do the prank soon, I just had to do whatever I could think of at the time. Okay, some other things I did. Let's see here. I made it so I could make the ultimate hybrid solar panels with not just 8 of these, but the one you can make, that's straight from an advanced solar panel, which is a little bit cheaper than making 8 of these. It's more expensive in some ways, but a lot cheaper in others. Like, it uses less lapis. I think it uses the same amount of iridium, but maybe a little less UU matter or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but I know it's slightly cheaper, and if you have enough iridium at the time, it's good to just go straight to the ultimate solar panel. And I'm up to 5 now. Let's see. Yeah, I got 5 ultimate hybrid solar panels and two hybrid solar panels right now. I'm trying to get to the point where I can log on and basically make an ultimate hybrid solar panel. That's when things will just kind of really start to get going with my UU matter production. And my goal with that is I want to make a fusion reactor. And if anybody out there's messed with fusion reactor, it's a lot more difficult than it was before, or it takes a lot more stuff. Like, it's not just a there's not just one block you put in and then put fusion coils around it anymore. It's very much a multi-block thing now. Like, there's I think 4 machines you got to put into it, and a ton of highly advanced casings. I think it was casings, yeah. It's going to take a lot of these advanced machine casings. And as you can tell from these, well, that's the expensive recipe. That you can do it with this one. So, platinum plates. That's not too expensive, but the expensive part of it is these chrome plates. Making chrome takes a lot of ruby dust, and to make ruby dust it takes a lot of redstone. Luckily, redstone is kind of an endless supply for us with the witches. And let's see how much redstone I got. 38,000 at the moment. So let's automate some ruby production right now. Actually, let's make a stack right now. Even though that's not really that much, but you just got to keep it going. Oh, but yeah, what I was gonna say about the storage is we were trying to turn this off and on, and to see if it made any difference, and it really doesn't. It's let me show you. Pretty much, if somebody has access to your system, they can get in the chest, and if they don't, they can't. So I don't really know what the difference is between on and off for this. So I don't know. I'll leave it on, I guess, if that protects it more or something. Who knows? Maybe someone out there knows and tell me in the comments. Okay, there's one other thing I want to show you guys in this episode. We fought a bunch of withers. 4 of us got together in the morning here. A lot of times there's a lot of us on at the same time, so I tried to coordinate this, but I was kind of short notice, and no one really replied to the email or anything, but there was just a bunch of guys who showed up, or 4 of us that showed up and fought the withers. So yeah, I'll show that right now. Okay, something happened to the first part of the recording. I really have no idea. I recorded this in the morning, so I might have just been kind of sleepy and delirious. Accidentally, hit the record button at the wrong time, or but at least I got some of it. This is just shortly after we started fighting them. If you want to see the other perspective, check out MountainSinais' channel. I'll leave a link in the description. He actually recorded the entire fight from the beginning, so you'll be able to see it. And from what I was typing here, it was because when we first spawned in, the first withers, Koopa Freak died from it somehow. I don't know. It was crazy. Because I think he was wearing his full modular power suit. So yeah, I don't think that was possible. But yeah, the first bomb that came out, when they first spawned, he was standing right next to it. That explosion killed him. So yeah, I'm not sure how. Okay, this is the second round here. We did a bunch more withers this time. I think the first time we did, it was maybe 2 or 3 withers, and the second one we're going for 5. And I think I got at least 1 kill in here. First you gotta grab their attention, and if you're aiming down at them, the railgun pushes you up a lot, so it's better to kind of get in a corner and get underneath them and shoot them that way. This is what I kind of figured out from all this fighting. Looks like Koopa's got one of them. He was holding it with his with the gravity gun. Couldn't really do anything with it though. Just like you're holding him, but he's just gonna sit there and drop bombs on you, so it's not really too helpful. I suppose if he was grabbing one and just stood still with it, the other person could like shoot it. But I wasn't doing that because he was running around, so I couldn't really get a consistent aim on it. That's 1 kill. I didn't grab any nether stars though because I turned my coin off, and yeah, so that star right there probably just fell down and somebody else picked it up with their star or their coin. And I killed this one too. Just trying to see how many actual kills I got. Cause your Koopa Freak was telling me, oh, I got 3 every time. I think he's talking about the stars though that he was picking up. Okay, this is round 3, another 5. I think this is one where he kind of didn't place one right though. So I think one of them got blown up because he couldn't place the head in time for to avoid the explosion. I think it's just 3. I don't know. But yeah, someone chased him right here, and they kept on following him and way up in the air. That was kind of the trouble we're having with these things. Is, you fire at them real fast, and if you're facing downward, yeah, you just keep launching straight up in the air, and they'd follow you there, and you can't really get a good shot at them when you're out in the open air with the with the railgun. It's better to be in a corner like this. But since they're all up there chasing people, can't really do anything. Just kind of waited down here for the wither to wear off. And this is round 4. I think we got all of them this time. It was 5 of them or something. Again. I wanted to see if we could do like, 15 at once or something. That would have been pretty cool. Maybe we'll try that another time. So loud. I actually decreased the volume by about 60%, 70%, something like that. And it's still kind of loud to talk over. But yeah, this was actually the best method right here. It's just, get their attention and get underneath them in the corner and just shoot them that way, because that way he's not moving at all and you're not gonna recoil a lot. See, sometimes actually when you're firing up, it'll actually make you go up too, which is kind of weird. Doesn't really make sense. You'd think recoil goes in the opposite direction of, the way you're firing, but nope. And next round, what is this, 5? Round 5. I got one of their attention. Fortunately, I got underneath them though. Or I got above them, I mean. Got him. I think I took out a couple this time. Ah, see, yeah. As soon as you get above them, that's you're just gonna start flying up real quick. I think somebody else grabbed his attention there. Yeah, I was kind of getting sick of the recoil, so I switched to the mining laser, because I know if you put it on long range, you can do a decent amount of damage to them, and you won't have any of the recoil effect. But getting a good aim on one of them when they're flying after somebody else is kind of difficult, though. But I think I got this one. Yeah. I just got the last couple shots in on him. Okay, I think this is the last round here, round 6, and I don't know if it's too much different. Use the mining laser a little bit here, I think. As you can see, my frame rate a little bit bad. I should have probably turned the render distance down a little bit for this fight. That probably would have helped. Because I look at MountainSinais frame rate, yeah, much better frame rate. A lot of it has to do with your CPU, and even if you have a decent CPU, if it's a couple generations back, it makes a huge difference with this game, because this game is single core. It's not multi-threaded, and if it's not multi-threaded, it's not going to use multiple cores of your processor. So the newer technology really stands out when you're playing Minecraft. If you're playing any other game, it's more dependent on how good your graphics card is. But yeah, Minecraft will kind of stink if you have a somewhat older processor, which mine is still it's a quad core, but it's like the what do you call it? Yeah, the duo processors. So yeah, if I had an i7, this game would run much better. But at the time I was upgrading my computer, which was a couple of years ago, the i7s were, I think they still are just about the same price. It's like the one I wanted to get was maybe $400 or something like that. So I've decided to upgrade my video card instead. So I figured, okay, I got a new motherboard, and I got new RAM. I got 8 gigs of RAM, but I didn't upgrade my processor. So it turned out to be kind of a big mistake with this game only. and guess what? This is the only game I play really now. So so kind of a not a great choice in upgrades, but eventually I'll get a new, motherboard and processor once I have an extra $1,000 to spend. But yeah, we each got 6 nether stars out of the deal. It's pretty cool. And this was all Grader set this up. He drained out this quarry, and oh yeah, which caused massive lag, and actually crashed the server a few times, but I knew it was going on, and we had to do it. So since then I've actually figured out we could actually have drained the water with MFFS. If you add the sponge upgrade module to it, it'll soak up all the water instantly, or I don't know if instantly, but you could put a giant force field in here and just have it get rid of the water blocks. And it gets rid of all the flowing water too. So, and there I was just picking up Koopa Freak and launching him with my gravity gun. He actually showed me that. I didn't know you could actually pick up players with this thing. And this doesn't work with the portal gun, just the gravity gun. Okay, we're back at the house. This was frozen at first. I'm not sure why. I think it's my hard drive has to warm up for a second, because I have it sleeping if it's not, because I only use it for recording, and it goes to sleep if it's not being accessed by anything. So I have to wait a lot of times for a second for it to load up. But I'm showing you, this is Koopa Freak's base. I wanted to show you what this thing looks like when you first come up on it. This massive ball up in the air of TNT. It takes a while to load in sometimes. Yeah, because it was doing this, I wanted to fill it up with something, because if you're not in the area, it was actually like unloading for some reason. The force field would actually deactivate, I think. So yeah, I just put a chunk loader here, and it seemed to fix the problem. But I also filled this thing up a little bit later, as you'll see. And here's the signs I put in. Hey Coops, I know you like explosives. I do too. So I made a big explosive out of little explosives. Or maybe it's all just an illusion, because yeah, it's just MFFS. If you can solve this one, there's a prize. And I put a hybrid solar panel in the middle. And hint, there's 2 solutions, which there's actually more solutions than that. I kind of knew he would figure something out with this, and yeah, when he came up on this, he told me well, I'll tell you after the setup here. And there's the prize. I had give him a hybrid solar, because this is kind of a mean one, sort of. Because if you'd think it was all TNT, which I'm sure he knew it was fake, I'm sure he's seen the projector force field before. But I put camouflage, a force field jammer, so he couldn't just get rid of it that way, and a defense station, and you also have to put your own card in there that's linked up to your defense station. So if he got in here, it would hurt him, and it happened. But yeah, I hooked it up to the public energy. That was the one solution. The other one is the wireless redstone. I put the lever down in one of his caves. So those are the 2 solutions I was talking about. I knew he'd probably figure something else out. I knew there was probably some way to get through that, and yeah, there is. Showing you where the lever is here. I went down into one of his initial, like this is where he first started out, and it's kind of sort of abandoned now. But I just put it down in this cave right here. I was like, if he couldn't figure out something, I was gonna just give him a hint that it's like, you know, go search your caves or something. Nope, not that way. Right there. So yeah, he could have just flicked this switch and it'll turn it off. But it's actually cooler the way that he figured it out. You'll see it. There was an added effect to the prank here. Okay, fast forward a little bit in time here. This is the added effect I was talking about. I put a bit of gravel in the bottom here, so when he turns off the force field, it would all fall onto the ground. Which I didn't put it directly above his base right here, so it's not too bad. And here's the end result. Covered the entire bottom with gravel. Um, and then I started adding some wool to the mix too. Um, because as you saw when I first came up on it, how it wasn't loaded in, you can kind of see the center, and it's really easy to figure out, and it just looks like a big hollow thing. So I added wool to, you know, in case it wasn't loaded when he came in, that he would actually see the wool first. But it took so long to cover this thing. Okay, then there's the end result of all the wool. Covered a huge portion of the wall. This is the area that's facing his base, so if he's just walking up to this, he's just going to see the wool, and it would cover the center there, so it would look a lot more solid than it did if the force field wasn't loaded in when he first walks up on it. Okay, and so here I was testing to see what it would do when it's first loading in. And you can see it kind of like it fades out for a second, but because I have the gravel and wool there, it looks solid instead of you know, being able to see right through it when you first walk up on it. And that was the desired effect I had on this. Okay, then I recorded this 2 days later. He finally was online and had discovered the prank and actually solved it and everything. But all the wool was still here, and I wanted to actually get it on tape when he was burning it. Yeah, that was kind of a fire spread fail there. Didn't really keep burning. He lit it in a couple different spots, and it was spreading pretty good, but yeah, then it just seemed to fizzle out. You see I made a happy face back there. Crooked happy face, looks kind of special. He started blowing it up with TNT. But yeah, I didn't stick around for the whole thing, so yeah, I think I'll call it here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.